They were said to just be an average couple who had kids. And one Christmas, they gave their daughter a little doll. Now, this doll was completely your average normal doll. She had beautiful silky hair, eyes that sparkled, a dress with a lace trim. She was just an average doll that anyone would have loved to have. And the doll was very loved by this young girl. But as with most toys that kids have, they eventually grow out of them. So the doll was eventually forgotten as this little girl grew older. Eventually, the children reached their 20s and they moved out of the house. So the parents decided that instead of throwing away their old toys, they would just put them in boxes up in the attic because they still wanted to keep these older memories. And although the doll had been played with for about 10 years, it was still in pretty good condition. The skin looked the same, the hair was still all nicely brushed, it was still very clean, the doll still looked pretty perfect when they put it in this box. Now, fast forward about 11 years later. The family were having a clean out of the attic when they stumbled across a rather odd looking doll. The doll was wrinkled and aged, and it looked just like a mini old person pretty much. So they saw this doll and thought, what the heck? We've never owned a doll that looked like this. The arms were stiff and mummified. There was wrinkles running down every single part of this doll. But that's when they recognized the dress the doll was wearing. It was a beautiful dress with lace trim. And they noticed that on the box it said, Kids Memories. And that's when they realized, oh my gosh, this was the doll that belonged to the daughter. It once had the face of a baby and it had now aged to something that looked like it was like 80 years old. It had aged much the same way a human does. But they said the most haunting part of the doll was the eyes. Even they looked human, and it almost looked like the doll was staring right into their souls. They got this really bad vibe, kind of like an evil presence in the attic, and they knew right away that something wasn't right. So the family decided to get rid of this doll because they had no idea what had happened to it. They gave it to new owners who happily took it from them, and now in today's time we have no idea where the doll is or what it looks like. We only have the pictures of when they found it.